And good morning, good evening, and good night, everyone. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York again. Um, we find ourselves as the inhabitants of the Sept of the Green have returned to New York finally. Slatahin would, after leaving the Moonbridge, Slatahin first would go to the Cub Cabins and just check on her own things and make sure everything is there and put the things that she has with her, put it at a place that she at least knows where to find it back again. She'll also expect the den that she made might clean up a little bit, and then one of her first priorities would be to look for her teacher, Kotori, Gasketibi Kutkiki Namagunraya. Because well, it's been a long time and she hasn't really heard or seen anything of him. So yeah, she's eager to tell of the things that she's done in the Amazon and the things that they've achieved there, and to hopefully be able to listen to his stories as well. So out of respect for him, she'll turn into Lupus and will step across in the Umbra. I'm gonna make a roll for that since I've now stated that I'm doing this in character. God damn it. Silly me. She does it very well. She crosses into the Umbra and is going to is going to try and find Katori, and she is probably starting at the Shrine of Bear, where he used to be a lot. She confuses her a little bit because it doesn't smell like him, and she doesn't really see any of his tracks. It doesn't look as well kept as it used to be. She frowns at that and will check on, well, the next thing on route, which is his den, the den of his pack, actually. Um, again, notices that there aren't as many fresh tracks as there should be. So she paces back and forth in front of the den for a while, and then kind of sticks her nose in to see if anyone's there.
Before Talate has approached, the den does have one occupant. So there will have been one set of fresh tracks going in. Calls on her return will have seen to one or two things, but returning to her pack's den will have been one of her highest priorities. And she has been in there. She's taken a little bit of time to take the place in, to try and breathe in what remains of her packmate's sense. And as Talatahine finds her, she is been shuffling about, tidying things, trying to make it livable, trying to just do simple things. Mostly it seems to involve shuffling things from one place to another, because many of the things that are lying around, the cluttering, are their things. I mean, she doesn't really know quite what to do with them all. Not that, being a den of mostly lupuses, there are many possessions. Um, and yes.
Yeah, there is it's a whining noise at the entrance of the den, as Tlatahin spots calls, but no one else. And she'll roll over for her den mother, um, whining a little bit. She's confused, but yeah, she'll wait for the calls to tell her it's okay to get up.
Calls will being distracted by her actions, but as the sound of the cub's whine and the scent of the cub finally reach her, she turns, takes in the cubs on her back, and she pauses a minute before padding over. She nuzzles Tarate's neck and then brushes her face against the sort of side and back of Tarate's face and neck to try and give some comfort to her distress and or delay slightly the coming conversation before she will nudge Talate slightly with her head to like her shoulder area to gesture her to get up.
Yeah, she will. Tlatin will get up. We'll roll over, creep a little closer to Calls, and just gives a couple of licks over her flank. And yeah, she looks, as said, she looks confused a little. Uh, Calls Raya.
Come, come in, cub. I think I think we should speak. Calls will get to her feet quite heavily, pad back into sort of the main central den area, and shuffle her feet slightly before settling down. She will gesture with her head that um, Talate should follow her. And
The cup. Yeah, she follows. She looks around at the den and notices again the signs of on not it not being used, which well doesn't help for the worry that she's feeling. So again, there is a little soft whine, winch that she follows in. Calls Raya, didn't mean to disturb you. I just want to know. I was looking for Gasketibikut Kiki Namagun Raya. She uses Katori's full lead name.
Calls will not return the name
Sorry.
because the player can't say it.
Took me a while to get it down, trust me.
I have attempted to say it in the past, but I am sorry, Damien, no. She takes a big sigh. I'm sure you were. But as I'm sure your senses are telling you now, his scent is not here, his tracks are not here. You you will not find him on the set.
He he left. Uh,
In a way, I made I haven't made it general knowledge to the set. It is not well known, but as it stands, I am the last of the hunters of the lost in the set.
Tlatahin's tail was raised up hopefully. Um, but as Calls was telling her story, started to sink lower and lower until it kind of disappears under the belly of Tlatohin's lupus form. Um, she she gets up, takes paces back and forth, and sits down again. There is some wincing as she again turns to calls. Are they on a mission? Are they to a different sept?
We went on a mission. I went with them. It, Olaf went too. My alpha, we all wished to do it, but it was my alpha's plan. It was his greatest goal, his greatest wish. It was his plan. You may have heard the tales of another of our packmate who was lost to us not long before you joined Cub. Of Ophelia Campbell defies death, sometimes known as Sinner to those who knew her more affectionately. She fell and had a most difficult and tricksy fate. She was taken, we were but and killed, but her soul was trapped, her spirit was trapped, unable to return to the homeland. And Katori, none of us wished for this to be the case, but Katori, my alpha, he could not let this stand. He could not. He found every way he could. He did all the research and he found a way. He found a way to free her. But, and we went on this spirit quest to this place. We followed his knowledge, we followed his leadership, and he did not lead us wrong. We found the tools that were necessary to free her from those unnatural bonds. But our pack has suffered much. Lupuses. We do not fare well in this city, in any city. We fight, we say things, but and my alpha, he had been fighting long. And he would have fought more if he needed, but there was a cost to freeing our packmate. And Katori, he was alpha. He would hear of no other bearing the cost than himself. I tried, Smiles tried, even Olaf made his case, but it was his place as alpha if he chose. It was his truest wish, his greatest sacrifice. We freed our packmate from the bonds that held her spirit, but to take her home so that she might be with her true ancestors, so she might truly know freedom and not be lost. She needed someone to guide her. She needed, well, there is payment for such things, as I'm sure you will learn, little Theurge. Spirits don't do things for free. There is costs. The cost in this case was Katori's life. But Cole whines at this point. tries to summon something from within her. But if it gives you some peace, little Theurge, little cub, he chose this. But they went together. The spirit, they guided them, but they went together.
He's not here anymore. Oh. Um, Tlatine will start pacing back and forth again. She is whining, she's kind of flicking, calls her, her lips, and her neck. It's obvious that she doesn't really know how to deal with this.
Cole gets up at this point and pads over to her and tries to effectively half affectionately, but like sort of half knock her over. Just with one of her paws, she's trying to like push her onto her side to stop her pacing. And she sort of, depending on Tartahine's reaction, but tries to not, it's almost half pin her, but it's almost more that she's sort of lolling over her to try and keep her still-ish, not restricting her so much as just trying to keep her very loosely in place, but then starts trying to groom her, and between like licks she just says, breathe, little cub, breathe.
And yeah, Tlatine will let herself be pushed over. And she, as Carl starts grooming, Tlatine will, well, basically return the grooming. Is calming down a little. Yeah, seems obviously just upset.
His his loss is not a trivial one. I understand. The pain you feel is not the same I do. Not the same that the others will feel. And of those of us who are left here in this scar, in this city, in this set, perhaps we will feel it more than most of the others. He was your teacher. He was one who understood you, one who saw your skills. He saw so much that you could be and wanted to help you be them. He wanted to be the one to teach you. He has taught you what he can. He cannot he cannot teach you more, and you will be lesser for it. But he has taught you as much as he could, and you will be more, and you will be better Theurge for that. Take that what he taught you. Remember that. He was he was my alpha, and I will tell his tales as his Galliard, so that others will know his lessons. He will not be gone whilst we are here.
And yeah, Tlatine will think about it for a bit. I'm sorry, calls Raya. I didn't mean to. Um, I am sorry for your loss as well. It must. She stops and doesn't say anything, but just continues the grooming. There are just things that don't need to be spoken. If you need anything, I Katori Raya came before we left. He told me that he would leave. He gave me something, and he said that if he wouldn't be there anymore. He would leave knowledge behind for those who wish to learn. I didn't understand why he did it. I think I do now.
Paul looks quite startled and looks for a minute, and then she focuses quite intently on Talate. What? He left you with something? What did he leave you?
Um, Nothing. He said that I needed to look for it if I wanted to. He said he left, yeah, knowledge. If
Hmm.
And
I
this is
will.
more out of character. I don't know exactly what he said anymore. It's been so long ago. So I
It,
need to recheck it.
that's fine. I will. It would be like Katori to leave knowledge behind. He valued it so greatly. I will. I know at least one thing he has given me, which maybe one day it will be yours. For now, I will hold it, and we shall see. He told me to hold on to it for my use or someone else's. I do not feel it is something that I should keep, but I do not know of where its home will be yet. You are a Theurge and his student, and whilst not Uktena, there is, well, you know.
Yeah.
But in
Well,
terms of knowledge, I will. I have not found anything here, but I admit I have not gone through so much of their. Well, we are lupus. We are not ones to keep things. Katori, perhaps because of his love of knowledge, some more things than would expect. I haven't yet been to Uktana's shrine either yet. That is.
I've been to Bear's shrine, but not to Octena's. I was hoping to find him there. Um, I if I don't know Kotori Raya as well as you do. I was only a student and only for a little while. But if he meant it as a quest, I doubt he would make it as easy as to hide something in a den.
Hmm, indeed.
I'm I'm sorry. I didn't mean to uh, interrupt you in your lost back business. Can I assist you?
Lost pack. It almost sounds as if I've been careless.
No, I didn't. I
Almost.
didn't. I didn't mean to sound like that. My apologies, Cosray. I swear I didn't.
I know. It is just the words we use to describe things sometimes. But perhaps I am careless. 2 packs. 2 packs I have had. 2 packs are now gone. I will tell you this, little cub. When you feel the joy and the belonging of being in a pack, when you truly know that your brothers and sisters stand at your shoulder, that they will fight and they will die with you, but more importantly, that they will listen to you, they will understand you, they will hunt with you, they will make sure you never go hungry, they will make sure you always have a home, they will make sure you always have someone to fight at your side, and that you do not go into anything alone. Hold on to it. You hold those packmates tight. You you trust them, and you know that level of trust. Embrace it. Make the most of that strength. Do not squander it. Do not think lightly of it like some do. Pack is pack is a great thing. A pack is the most and deepest home, the dearest home, dearest family.
Claudine will think on that as she is still grooming and even more intensely grooming calls at this point. She she nods. Her ears are twitching a little bit, as if she's trying to make sense of what call she said. Um, which, to be honest, she can't because she doesn't have that experience at all. She she stops and sits down for a moment. Um, Tapisa and Will and I are thinking about forming a pack as soon as Tapisa and I, if we get our rite of passage. If she licks her lips, if you need a pack at your side, I don't mean as replacement because I don't think anything can. But if you need to have Garu at your side who are willing to help, um, I will always help you. I can't be we can't be a replacement for anyone, but we can always try and assist. You've taught us so much.
Your words are kind, little cub. I I know the wolf in me tells me I should not be alone. The wolf in me tells me I should join another pack. I look around, it is hard.
We aren't.
Maybe your offer is kind. I will need to find my place here first.
Yeah, I understand. We are none of us are what they used to be anymore. Well, no Homid or Lupus is what they used to be anymore. It's so you always have something else to deal with, something that isn't may sometimes feel strange. Will has that problem with being sometimes too thinking too much as a human, and I think in a way you have it right now with wanting maybe to be just Lupus, but you're more than that. Sometimes
In the Amazon, it was easier. But I am back here, back in this place. There it was easier to not forget them, but to distract myself. This place where they were, where their memories, their stories are all around. It is, it is harder. But
Yeah.
they would not want, and Kotori certainly would not want it to hold you back. Take his lessons, and if you wish to know more, I can tell you more stories of him. But take those lessons, take those memories. You take them forward, not stay behind. I I must try and do the same, although I cannot yet see the path my paws will walk without them. But the path is there. There is always the path, the trail. But
I'll try to follow his footsteps, although they seem to be, and they are right now, way too big to fill. There's no way any of us could ever even try to fill the prints that his paws left on the sept.
no. But you have small paws right now, little cub. You have time to grow. Do your rite of passage soon. You will complete it, I do not doubt. You have shown many skills in the Amazon. It is time that they are recognized.
Thank you, Raya. That coming from you, that means a lot. I'm just doing what I feel anyone should do. I don't consider myself to be, well, I try to not. There are some that I feel would benefit from more tuition. And I sometimes realize that I feel the urge to step above my station, especially when Kumba Karna is involved. I need to work on knowing my place again, and I deserve no praise.
You choose that one. That one. If he was not already a bone gnawer, I would say he couldn't get much lower, but he. I know it is the way. I know it is what you must do. It is the rank. It is what we teach you. It is what is right. But with that one, I could understand you struggling to put yourself lower than him, even as a Metis. He seems often determined to put himself, I suppose as some would call it, the proper place as the bone gnawers, but this sept is proof that bone gnawers can achieve things and are more sometimes. Maybe he will show me otherwise, but his examples in behavior before me have been, I think the Homage would describe it as less than impressive.
I, when we were still here before we went to the Amazon, I have told others that I consider him a threat to the nation and to Garu, and that there may come a time that he might actually put us at risk. I still feel that way,
And
but
if he does, I will deal with it if it is my place to do so. He he will not put missions at risk. Not when I lead. And if he does put others at risk, if he does do things that are dangerous, especially in this place where there are some who I think have been too complacent. They're so excited to come back to the city where everything is easier and we can use all of our weaver tools and tricks, and they forget the dangers that are here. They forget.
I I liked the Amazon because of the surroundings. I like this better because of the weather.
Hmm.
It's cooler here. I feel more at ease here, but at the same time, I feel like I've stepped back into a trap.
Yes. The weaver's webs are tight here, and if you let them, if you are fooled by their comfort, they will slowly wrap themselves round you and strangle the wolf in you.
I don't know. I've only been in that city twice, maybe thrice. I dislike going there.
The city is not an easy place, particularly not for ones like us. But we cannot fear it and fear going into it. We should be wary. We should be aware of the risks, but we should not let it. We should not let the weaver dictate to us. We should not let the rules of this place confine us. We have to follow a certain amount for the safety of us and the safety of others, so that we may strike from a safer place and not put us or the sept at risk. But do not let yourself get wrapped up in the webs here, and let the webs and the ties of the city confine you.
I'll ask Will to take me out into the city more often then.
Like anywhere, like the Amazon, the city can be just as hard to traverse. But if you wish to fight and be effective here, it is a sad truth that even smiles in the night made to me that it is the Homid's terrain, it is the Weaver's terrain, and the worm has used it many times to hide and turned the Weaver's constructs to its own horrible use and designs. So we cannot, as much as possible, as much as we hate these places, as much give them too much advantage.
I understand your lesson, but so far, as a cub, it was easy not going there. Um,
I hope it always is for you, Cub.
I I think I'll go check on the other shrines then. I saw bears and it looked like it hadn't been taken care of properly for a while now. I th I'm afraid that that might also count for the other ones. Um,
Do it. Their attentions will be good. It will give you something to focus on and practice your lessons.
yeah,
The shrines here, there are many. We are a varied set. I do not know what to expect. I mean to look at Uctenas and Pegasuses before the day is out, at least.
okay. I will check bears. I'll check the shrines that I tended to, which were Fenrir's and Falcons, and Wendigo, of course. We haven't, there aren't many keepers.
No. I shall also look into the Set shrines. There is much change to be had here. I'm sure, well, the keepers, and as Victoria always pointed out, were never very high on the agenda. It's always other things seemed more important, but I will make sure they are not forgotten. But
Calls
for
Raya. Sorry. Um, I was. Would you like me to see if there are others who would like to help, would like to step up and be a keeper? Others of
speak
the Sept.
speak to them, see who is interested. We cannot. We will gather some names or send them to me. I am not the keeper of the land, but I will. I am probably the longest serving keeper we have now. I
Yes.
will speak to those who are interested, and we will make things formal later. But even if people will not be keepers, if you can encourage people to tend to their shrines, do what they need to for their own tribal and pack totems, this will at least cover us, give us something for the next little while until more of this is resolved.
Yeah, I'll see to it, calls Raya. Thank you for your trust. She she'll yeah, she'll give calls a last lick, like around her lips, kind of licking her teeth, and then she'll slowly start to back away. Unless calls, of course, still wants to say something.
Nope. Hope will just get to her feet and sadly look around. And she will follow before deciding that she doesn't really want to do anything in here. And she might as well be outside and follow Telate out.
Tlata will basically move backwards, out of the den. And as Calls is following her out, she'll kind of step aside to give her passage, and will then slowly, again, first couple of steps backwards, walk off and goes to tend to Bear Shrine first, and then onto the other shrines of the Sept. Um, and I think it is here that we will end the scene.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And well, good night.